Outgunned. This is the brand new film from Alastair Orr. He also co-writes the film with David D. Jones and Garth McCarthy. It is produced by Tespesio Chikapapiri, Ari Mahadeb, it's executive produced by Dan Jowitz, Johan Kruger, and Joel Peary. We have got Kruger also, he line produces. Moraba Nokwa is a supervising producer, and Leo Peary also heads up production. Right, so Sean Utim, Sayabonga Sithul, and Fazil Fella take care of the score. Brendan Barnes is on cinematography, with Leon Weiser editing the piece. Right, Stephen John Ward handled casting. We have Chantel Carter on production design, Lloyd Mismanga on art direction. Costume design is Nareen Pinar. Hair and makeup, we have Viola Boyenes, Rowan Jarrett, Kali Cotes, Cassidy Lombard, Sly Mazie, Anja Rechholtz, and Nicola Ront. All the stunts were handled by Tarisu Delange, Kerry Gregg, Francis Groenwald, Leanne Mullen, Jenny Umbu, Deville Vanek. Okay, so the gist of the film is this. Long before she was a single mother in a sleepy South African town, Jessica Brok was a highly skilled, cold-blooded special ops assassin. She thought she had left that life behind. She thought her last ill-fated mission was her last. She thought wrong. Dum dum dum. So the film in the States was called Hunting Jessica Brok. Out in the UK, I'm not sure about the rest of Europe, but it is called Outgunned. And this is one of those bat crazy action films, right? We start off in Angola. I think it's 2013. And Jessica and her team are raiding. I think they're meant to be poachers, right? But then it turns out they're child abductors and a whole heap of other things, right? But the mission goes terribly wrong. It seems to be a trap from giddy up. And basically Jessica's team is slaughtered, and she's the only one that escapes, right? One of her colleagues is captured and, shot. And she escapes, but while escaping, she kills the head honcho, Lazar's brother. Well, one of his brothers, right? And so this is the thing that sets up a vengeance, right? A blood feud. It's always, I always find it interesting, right? Because when you have people, they're trying to kill someone, And that person who they're trying to kill, in their attempt to escape, evade, get away, they kill one of the hunters' team. And then the hunter's like, you killed my friend, you killed my brother, you killed my sister, whatever. It's like, I'm going to get you. And I'm like, yeah, but you were trying to kill them, right? What did you think was going to happen? Someone's going to die, right? And the person you're hunting don't want to die, right? So they're not going to play patty cake with you. You know what I mean? It's going to get to this. But anyway, we jump forward 12 years and we're now in South Africa, right? And it looks like, Jessica's changed, right? A lot. She now, I think she's all about like animal preservation. That's the thing. It looks like she goes out and helps and relocates, right? Like poisonous snakes and things like that. That's her life right now. She works with a woman called Kim. She's got a daughter. She is happy, And, it feels like this has been the thing to try and quiet that trauma, that PTSD from the past, right? All the things that she did in her career as special ops, right? But one day, a poacher catches up with her and he's attacking her. But out of nowhere, someone comes and stops the poacher and she's like, oh man, relieved. That person is someone from her past, right? And that's how the film all kicks into gear, And like, yeah, I think you do kind of go, okay, right? Because I think you figure it's going a certain way as soon as this person sits down, really. And even over the course of that, even if you missed it when he sits down, the course of that conversation tells you there's some shit planned, right? Which is all fine, right? That's all fine. Now, when she gets grabbed, there are certain things that you're just a bit like, I'm not sure if I buy this, right? Like, it's a woman. You know what I mean? It's a woman. They're not just gonna leave her, right? Just, okay, we're gonna tie you up and leave you. No, there's all manner of nastiness will be done. But we're meant to believe that it's not, right? So there is that. And I think even from the beginning when she's all tied up and everything like that, it's like they're hitting her and things like that. But, there's not a lot of blood. There's not a lot of, damage, it would seem, to her. There's some, but it's kind of that strategic damage. Right, her clothes are fine, even though she's been in the dirt, right, dragged and all of this kind of thing. But clothes are pretty fine. So you have that. I mean, even before that, right, in the Angola mission, there are plenty of scenes when you've got, she's out in the open essentially, and you've got multiple gun people, and none of them can hit her. Right? I mean, that in itself gives you a lot about, okay, what am I going to see here? And even, like, just throughout this film, there are so many scenes where she is literally out in the open. And you've got someone behind her, sometimes with a machine gun, an automatic, and they're firing. And you see the bullets are going right beside her, either side, but nothing's touching her. And it's not like she's out in the open for a second. It's usually a good while. And you're like, how the fuck is no one hitting her? Right? When people hide behind objects like cars and trees and stuff like that, and you see bullets go through the door, go through, blah, 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 but the spot she's hiding, they can't penetrate that. They can't penetrate that bit. And you're just like, oh, okay. That's what we're doing, is it? Okay, I see. It is one of those bonkers films, right? Like, it's just over 2 hours, and I do think if this film was shorter, it would work a lot more. Now, it would still be over the top and ridiculous, but it would work more because she does get injured, right? There's a good number of injuries. Gets shot in the leg. Now, this does lead to moments where she's not limping. There's a few moments where we see her on screen, she's not limping at all. And you're like, wait, you've been, your leg, your foot, what, huh? And then in the next scene, she might be limping. And you're like, wait, how the fuck did they not pick up on that? You know what I mean? That's a big thing right here. And I mean, the problem with the runtime is it's hard to believe that I think anyone can get through a certain amount of damage, right? Because there's concussions. Concussions are real, right? And I've said this so many times, right? We watch the UFC, we watch boxing. We've seen people get knocked out or just so fucked up from a few blows to the face that then the fight gets stopped. But in this, it's not the case, right? And remember, it's a woman. You know what I mean? And some people might be, what do you mean? It's a woman. What do you, oh, we're all the same. Shut the fuck up, people. You know what I mean? Listen, if a woman gets punched in the face by a bigger man, she's getting fucked up, right? Because bone density, like ligament length, muscle size, these are all big things here. The woman's getting fucked up. You know? So it's just, there would be a lot more damage. Like, the amount of times she's in something where you're like, that's a concussion. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a clear concussion. So just getting up and, walking away, shooting, running, yeah, that's not possible. That's not going to be a possible thing. Now, in a lot of the fights, they do use her agility, which that's a thing that you can do. There was a film called Kate that was very good. And in that, I think it's Mary something Winstead, right? She's moving around, dodging, and you go, yes, that's how a woman could beat a man. You know what I mean? And so in some of these fights, she's dodging and booming, and yet you're like, okay, yeah, I buy that. But then when you've got a bit where someone's coming over a knife and she's holding their arm and stopping it, you're just like, yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. And especially when they've got them both arms pushing down, you're just like, okay, 2 arms from a dude, a big dude, on this little woman. No. So, yeah. she picks up so much damage. You're just like, how the fuck is she even moving? And so I think a shorter film, if you don't give her as much damage, I think the film could work a whole lot better. You know what I mean? Could definitely work a lot better. I mean, she's not the only one that picks up a lot. There's other characters that pick up a ton of damage, and you're just like, how is that person not dead? Right? How is that person move? Like, there's a bit where someone gets blown up, essentially. And so you'd think, man, it'd be days of him. And you have her looking, and she sees him in one direction. And then she backs around this car. And you're going, you know what's going to happen. But you're just like, don't do it. And as she backs around the car, the guy's behind her. And you're just like, in his state, there is no way homie is moving that fast around, considering she just saw him over there. What's going on? So, yeah, there's a lot of elements in the film that are crazy, a little dumb. Well, not even a little dumb, straight dumb. And yeah, because it's so long, it just adds to the unfeasibility of it all. Now, some of the performances are pretty good when you consider what they have to do. Like, our main group of bad guys. Oh, my bad, people. I didn't go through the cast, did I? Okay, so Danica Della Ray Jones is Jessica Brok, right? We have got her daughter Nikki, played by Katherine Neethling. I don't think. Oh, her friend Kimmy is played by Kim Clute. We have then got. Let's go with Lazar Ipax, played by Richard Lukunku. We have got his brother Sergey, played by Anthony Oseyemi. I can't remember the name of his other. Ivan, his other brother, is played by Eugene Kumbania. Right, Lazar's wife, I think it is Sherry, might be his girlfriend. But Sherry is played by Hlubi Mboya. We got Matteo, played by Tamer Burjaq. There's Daniel Connor, played by Clyde Burning. There is Lobo, played by Jandre le Roux. Whitman, played by David James. Benny, played by Neels Clasen. Hobbs, played by Craig Hawkes. Riggs, played by Vaughn Lucas. Roscoe, played by Llewellyn Cordier. Peck, played by Damon Berry. Isaacs, played by Zino Ventura. Lufu, played by Calastine Cabello. And another one of the approaches is played by Francisco Cortez. So yeah, that's the cast. Now, what I would say is the Lazar, Sergey, Sherry, right? They're not in-depth characters, but you gotta give props to Richard, Anthony, and Hlubi for being able to add a little bit more to these characters. You know what I mean? They do a pretty decent job, right? And I would say you do buy the relationship between Jessica and Nikki, right? You do buy them as mother and daughter, right? So Katherine and Danica do a good job at that, right? Danica's showing all the emotion and everything. Like some of it is definitely direction. You know what I mean? Because it's just like when you've got someone and they're hiding and they're like, you're just like, we can't have that, right? Because they're gonna find you. We can't pretend that they can't find you if you're making that much noise, right? So there's certain things, and the whole, not limping in some scenes, and that's all direction. That's not really on the actors themselves. So although the script's kind of one note, right, we do get a lot of the cast trying to really bring their A game to this. It's just the script isn't incredible and the film is just too long. But if you enjoy things like Shelter, right, the expendable films, I think Hunting Jessica Brok or Outgunned, I think this film will probably work for that audience. So people, it is now available on all your favorite platforms. So if you just want an action film that you don't have to think about, then go check out Outgunned, aka Hunting Jessica Brok.